The rapid development of sex technologies causes a chain reaction in other areas as well. It was here that one of the first humanoid robots appeared, which can speak and simulate emotions using animatronics, mechanisms that simulate the movements of living beings. They frighten someone, on the contrary, arouse excitement in others, and the demand for them generates disputes in the ranks of ethicists and feminists. Will they suppress our capacity for empathy and love? Will they provoke a surge in violence against women? Or, on the contrary, will they help us cope with the epidemic of loneliness? Lisa Moras is looking for answers to these questions. In 2018, the global sex tech industry earned $30 billion. Experts predicted that by 2023, its profit should grow to $35.5 billion. But the coronavirus has warmed up this market and it has flooded with singles money. Wow! Tech Group, which owns the companies that produce the famous toys Womanizer and Vibe, reported a 200% increase in revenue. Sales of realistic sex dolls also soared. The sex doll Genie and Realbotics brands received 50 and 75 more orders, respectively. They even updated the firmware of their Harmony robot so that she could talk to the owner about the pandemic. Is social distancing so unbearable that it pushes people to buy silicone lovers? In fact, interest in sex androids has been growing over the past 10 years. And in 2017, every fourth American was ready to seriously think about a hot night with a bot. In 2020, there were 6 more such experimenters, and their number increased among both men and women. It all started in 2010, when engineer Douglas Hines presented the Roxy sex robot at the largest exhibition of the Avon adult industry. Despite the fact that she could not move and spoke from the speaker under the wig with the voices of personalities built into her software, cheerful Wendy, frigid Farah, Mother Martha, Sadama Sach's Suzanne, and young Yoko, there was a stir in the media. The starting price for the world's first sex robot was $7,000. Then it rose to $9,000. But sales never started, and the website of Heinz's True Companion company no longer exists. Apparently, the unfinished prototype did not suit anyone. Now, the most famous Geminoid is Silicone Harmony from Abyss Creations, an American manufacturer of ultra-realistic sex dolls, Real Dolls. By Christmas 2020, they released version 3.0 with heated skin and a self-moistening removable vagina that can be washed in the dishwasher. The minimum cost of such a friend is $16,000, and a regular Real doll will cost twice as much, $6,000. It is understandable. This girl will not coo with you. She will only silently stand in any position that excites you. She doesn't have a programmed AI personality that can support a conversation about movies and books. And she certainly does not intend to study her master, or partner, along and across to adapt to it. And Harmony has all these options. Although anatomically the Abyss Creations models consist of identical parts, steel joints and PVC bone-ins, skin and teeth made of medical platinum silicone. The target audience of Abyss Creations is middle-aged men and older. Some have difficulties in building romantic relationships, others have lost a partner, and others have disabilities. Psychiatrists use these dolls in sessions, and parents buy Geminoids for their children with autism. And of course, for people with various fetishes, trouble-free robots also become an outlet. Journalist Jenny Kleinman, in her book Sex Without People, Meat Without Animals, writes that among the company's clients, there are collectors of art objects, truck drivers, and Nobel laureate, and also couples who want to improve their intimate life, lawyers, surgeons, and veterinarians, as well as men with prostate cancer. They have problems with erection, but they really lack the usual hugs. The founder, chief designer, and CEO of Abyss Creations, Matt McMullen, declares that his company has no competitors and calls the products of successful Asian manufacturers a fake for people who can only buy a fake Louis Vuitton handbag. However, sales of realistic dolls of the Chinese market leader Doll Suite DZ are 5 times higher than Real Doll because their production takes only a week and the starting price is twice as low. While $3,000 Doll Suite also has a division developing sex bots. Already now they are releasing an android girl who sings Chinese songs, winks, raises her eyebrows, laughs, moves her arms and torso. And unlike Harmony, she does it all more naturally, because the main focus of D's robotics is carefully detailed animatronics, not AU. However, oddly enough, it is the naturalness of movements that sometimes suppresses the sexual attraction of buyers. There are complaints about sex robots. They mostly come from radical feminists who want to criminalize the industry of paid intimate services because they believe that it is built on patriarchal oppression and violence against women. The most ardent opponent of sex androids is Kathleen Richardson, professor of ethics and culture of robots and artificial intelligence. In 2015, she launched a campaign against mechanical priestesses of love, arguing that their spread would only exacerbate the objectification of women and children. Indeed, it is not necessary to get consent from robots for the actions that a person wants to perform with them. They have no moral limitations, only technical ones. Therefore, physical violence against them is legal. Matt McMullen believes that such humility will help real partners of people who have aggressive fantasies become a kind of lightning rod for them. And professor of psychology from Cornell University, David Pizarro, on the contrary, believes that the risks for the second participant of the pair in the case of the first use of uncomplaining androids only increase. Jenny Kleiman also comes to the conclusion that sex robots are rather a technological solution for ignoring the problem of violence. She writes that Asian manufacturers of cars in the form of children believe that they help men realize their fantasies and desires without harming real minors, as if a doll is an ideal substitute, like methadone for heroin addict. But if people who import juvenile robots are arrested, equating them with pedophiles, then buyers of female androids, on the contrary, are pampered with media attention. Kleiman is indignant and does not understand what the difference is here. Stopping the production of sex robots or banning their commercial implementation is a utopian idea. Thanks to the discussions that are held at conferences, in the media and academic circles, people think about what they really want and what is really important to them. And yet, we still continue by inertia to talk more about our fears than about the future of sex and love. We can change the shape of robots, turning them into spacecraft for unearthly orgasms. But the system itself needs to be rebuilt first of all, in which it is more profitable to make women with steel skeletons and glass eyes than to supply people with disabilities with robotic surrogate partners and an isolated individual suspended on Instagram brings more money than a loving family.
Thanks for watching. Put likes and subscribe to the channel.